Mhm. Hello. I say again, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dawn. And I know that a lot of people, well, they just don't understand common sense. Common sense has not been made common. Also, if you really pay attention, most people are scared of authority. They are scared of power, but for some reason, most people have forgotten that only a few people are actually chosen to, well, have power. And the people who are chosen are always people that have to reiterate, well, that we don't have the same emotions as others. Now, if you want to understand what I mean by that, I simply mean some of us have an onset of emotions that come from your experiences in life. But some of us, regardless of our experiences in life, have been allowed to have certain emotions removed from us. Now, depending on how deep you are into your craft, which is not very deep for most people, which is why my title says the few, the proud, the Marines. A lot of people are still pretending this is Marvel movies. The same amount of respect, false respect that you've been giving to these fake superheroes and everything else, you may want to go ahead and put that respect on your earth angels because the saddest part about being an earth angel is that no one believes you until they're shown. Now, for those who don't understand what earth angel means, earth angels are only here to get rid of demons. So the same people claiming that you are taunting them or tormenting them don't understand it is your time to go. And either you're going to come when I call you, or I'm going to get in your body and get you out of it. And that's the only option you have. And you'll never be able to move in water the way I do. That's why I need more space. Imagine when you don't understand, I can't just have any vessel. Imagine when you have to explain to people that it's my turn. And the same authority you think someone gave you, please don't you ever forget, is the same authority I've been granted to rule the land. It's mine anyway. And I told you before, I'm not a content creator. I didn't come here till the Ouija board was complete. So while you're collecting views, I'm collecting people. And I'm not giving you back. So you may want to be careful who you disrespect. Kids love me. In fact, I can't have kids here because I have so many in the spiritual realm who need me. And guess what? I love the kids, just not you. And that's my gift. I can only feel emotions for the innocent. So if you ever stir up things in me that I haven't brought to you, please know I'm going to own you. Okay? I don't care who's been on here playing with you. I don't care who's been on here parlaying with you. If I want you, you will be had. See, they've convinced you that you're a part of their system, and you're not a part of their system. See, fear is for the weak. When you've been granted authority, you have no reason to fear the weak because the weak is who you come to destroy. And we've been given permission to destroy you because you're destroying our land. And before it was land, it was our water. And you don't understand, if we rule in the water, okay, how could a man rule on earth? And to this day, men have never reached the depths to even become. Have you ever heard the saying, a merman? Have you ever seen someone say they were a merman? Where do mermans come from? They don't exist. So, to pretend that you have false power on land when the strongest of the elements is water and you can't tame it nor penetrate it, the closest men will ever get to penetrating water is the vaginal area. And for a lot of men, they've been tainted by dirty water. Dirty water. See, let's talk about why we have to purge you now. See, you came into a world pure. You were pure, okay? And if you don't want to, okay, hear truth, go to where you can be lied to because I have to tell you, I can't lie to you. Okay, that's the difference between you and I. You can lie, I can't. And I'm glad because the best thing about not being able to lie is no one ever believes you. So when you finally are here, okay, and you're able to actually do your job, okay, because see, for some people it's a job, but for others it is a will, okay. And I say again, I can't lie to you about why I'm here. You can only lie to yourself about why I'm here. And the saddest part about it is, it does make me sad to have to rid you, but not sad enough that I'm going to watch you hurt those who are no longer here because, well, we have to share the same water. That's how we travel. And you keep tainting our travel ways with your waves, and they're not, well, they're not able to work with us. You're also taking out quite a few species that have never, well, had a problem. And I think it's really cute how certain people are still talking about species in the ocean. You haven't passed the second serpentine, so what the fuck would you know about any other layers of the ocean? You've never been allowed to go. And every time you try, you will die. So you know what time it is. And I say again, you can find your best. You can come in all the legions you want. You know why we're here. And we're only here for a few of you. The rest of you, well, you will flow with the water. Do we have any more questions? I think it's sad when people don't understand. At one point, you understood that humans were your earth angels. And now you're at a time where you're all competing to be the head loser. Imagine pretending that you understand power when you're still defeated by those who are powerless. Imagine not understanding that the same God you believe in had to call me to purge you because he's too weak to destroy what he built. But that's okay. After we destroy what he allowed you to build, we're going to destroy and build again like we always do. And for those of you who still think this shit a game, you got about 2 more months before y'all start getting y'all wake up calls because we're here to purge. Okay? You think the movie The Purge was something, you just wait. You have no idea. And it's a difference when you're doing it in the name of the mother because one name you have forgotten one too much is the very womb you all come out of. And how can you forget the only thing that gives you life? Water. How could you forget her? The only reason why your pain releases and it turns into tears, but every time you cry, you release my salt of the earth, and I hear you. So imagine when you don't understand, your tears call me. So don't ever cry too much because I like to purge tears because why are you crying? They all come to the same ocean. So what makes you think they're falling on deaf ears? See, tears never fall silent. In fact, we use your tears. Your tears create waves only your tears can carry. And not only that, it helps us find those who are actually pure because not all tears come with salt, but the ones that do, we find you more swiftly. But as you sit here with your bodies full of sodium, oh, how easy it is to find the salt of the earth. You've let these people convince you to be sheep for the slaughter, and you're still upset because we have to slaughter you. I say again, you can play if you want to, but you know what time it is, and if you don't, just keep waiting. See, your time has been limited, but it's also been stretched out because you've never had this much time in your life, ever. Nothing in existence has been given this much time to waste. So the fact that you have blindly wasted it is amusing. So amusing. Oh, that's nice. How is the water where everyone is? Has it been a bit windy? Oh, dears. If only you knew. It doesn't matter what it's about. If it's for you, you will stay. If it's not, you can go. Hmm. Sabrina, interesting. Are you in California, Sabrina? Oh, Sabrina. I don't think Sabrina is your real name, though. But what do I know? I'll give you a pass today, Sabrina, because I don't want to put you on the spotlight. But your name is not Sabrina. Be even you. Mm. How is everyone doing? A living room? A living room? How cute. Well, you very well better get used to living because in a little bit it's going to be your DEAD room. Oh, you won't be calling it that for too long. Like I said, how's the water where you guys are? Is it rising as I told you it would? Hmm. Do we have any special guests in here today who would like to be spoken to, drawn attention to? Please don't be shy. Speak. You don't have to have a picture. Don't you have a name? We already started off with some liars in our chat who are going by false names. If you don't want to be exposed, stop following me. I can only tell you truth. Okay? If you want to lie, You will have to pick the people who chose you to be a part of Babylon to keep lying to you. Okay? I can't see you. Oh. Turn your brightness up so I can see you. You're a dark little light. You're a dark little light. You're dirty. I don't think your picture is real. Hi there, everyone. I just came to say a quick hello and see how everyone is doing as the land is purging. Oh, for you guys, I'm going to put some of you guys on briefing about some of the next events that are to come. For those of you who actually want to prepare, some of you have time more than others, but it's not going to be the way you think you need to prepare. I say again, if you are scared of power, you need not follow me. Okay? If you are scared to be alone in the dark, you need not come play with me. Okay? I do not care who has been on the internet playing games with you. I refuse to. Okay? My time is limited. But please know it is forever purposeful. Okay? And I say again, it is my job, okay, to enlighten. Simply because I cannot, okay, forbade you knowledge if you ask. That's the difference. Certain people don't have knowledge to give you. Just perversion because everything they know is perverted. Okay? Past that point, it's not really hard to understand humankind, which is why humankind is always obsessed with the kinds they need to leave the fuck alone. And if you are in the dry places, there's no need for you to be in our wet water. Okay? And I say again, nothing that doesn't like to take baths during the week should have a problem staying out of our water altogether. But for some reason, you do. So we're here now. And all the people you brought here, okay, to distract from you, well, let's just say their bloodlines end here too. Welcome. We've been waiting for you for probably about 250 years. The timelines are a bit construed, but you wouldn't know that because you're not on the correct time. You are on Babylonian time, and Babylonians know what time we're on, and it certainly isn't theirs. So, for those of you who don't know what time we're on, let me give you a heads up. You have approximately about 622 days, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But, okay, past that, some of you guys are not going to be here to even understand what those days are going to be about. So you may want to tread lightly because some of you, your number has been called a long time ago. And only the things that you're attached to, meaning the people you've attached to, the children you've created, are the things that spare you. But for some of you, even your children won't be spared. Sadly, sadly, I spare the children and not you. But lucky for a lot of you, I'm a better mother than you guys would ever be. No child goes hungry, no child goes sad, and no child goes without their dolls to play with, which would be you. Because in our world, well, you do your job. And when you're tainted, your only job is to be inside of a doll for the children to play with. So, whoever told you that your purpose was reincarnation, they lied. Only children are reincarnated. If you're reincarnated as an adult, I would assume you really pissed someone off. Oh, elegant. There's no such thing as elegance. In a world where utopia has been ruined, what would you know about elegance? In a world full of fully unequally yoked men and women, what would you know about elegance? You've never seen the elegance of a woman. You're still trying to minimize her into a drag queen for performance. What would you know about sheer elegance? Elegance flows. Elegance is effortless. Name one part of your life that's elegant. That's cute. I don't think it's spooky at all. I think it's sad that most of you guys are old enough to understand that the only thing that scares you is truth and the unknown. Two things that actually go quite well together, but for some of you, the only reason you're scared of the unknown is because what you've been doing in your unknown darkness. But for everyone else, you're only scared because you're a scary motherfucker. Okay? And that makes my job much easier because you were never made to feel fear. That's not an emotion that we give. So, for those who have it, please know we get you out first because when war comes, you can't have fearful things around you. You're only as strong as your weakest links. So you must go first. And you will. You always do. You take yourselves out usually, which is the easy part. And then we have to go find the rest of you that like to hide. You can't hide in a world where we know the map better than you. All you did was dry it out. And like I said, you can only dwell in the dry places. That's nice. Hmm. How is everyone doing? Can't you tell I feel much better? I feel damn near perfect. What about you guys? I said what I said. If you have fear, it is because you are inadequate in something. What is it that you're inadequate at? As a being of the water, no man could ever make me fear. It's as simple as pulling you into my womb. And because you are easily manipulated by shallow waters, what do you think you could do against something from the deepest waters? I beg of you, keep living, and you'll find out. Adaptation, whatever that means. I hope you guys are doing well. I know a lot of people are still looking to celebrate their feeble holidays. And to those of you who wish to, enjoy your blind excitedness. And I prefer you don't talk. I didn't ask you to speak. And if you're going to speak in my presence, you will do so in respect. I'm not going to keep telling you guys about this thing called respect. See, you've been taught that you can respect and disrespect who you want. But you play enough, and I'm going to disrespect your entire bloodline until you understand respect is not a choice for some of us. You will give it, or you will lose everything that you even have to consider respectable, including your life. And it's really that simple. We don't ask for permission, your God does. Imagine having to ask for respect. It's cute. That's why you can disrespect your gods and serve two masters, but with us, you can't. So we don't know what that's like, dear. It's been very windy, a bit rocky. Oh, hello, James. How are you, sweetheart? Oh, beautiful to see you here. And I'm doing wonderful. Oh, good. It's beautiful for you to stop by. I know it's a strange hour for a lot of people. Oh, no. You guys. Mm-hmm. You guys can't see me at all. That sucks. Thank you for the gifts. If only they could carry over into the water. Poor dear. Me. Me. I sound like that. Oh dear. I don't believe I sound like that. I believe I sound quite different. Wouldn't you say? Me, Caucasian. Me. Me. Something of the deepest darkness. Having Caucasian light. Mm. Your taste doesn't seem that exquisite. Sounds quite deplorable in explanation, or either you're just struggling to articulate your very whitewashed thoughts. Which is it? Which is it, dear? But no, we're chilling. I hope everybody's doing well. For those of you who are interested, we're going to be deep diving a little bit into some of the events that are still to come, but very, very near in the future. So, for those of you who are interested in staying on top of world events before they happen, you're more than welcome to stay here and find out about them while the rest of the world pretends they haven't already been warned. Like I said, a lot of people are so busy trying to pretend they're the truth tellers. Have you noticed that everyone is so busy talking against me instead of asking me what's next? Look at all the people who are online. Witches are gonna die. Witches and warlocks, and there are no warlocks. Men are not recognized as magicians by the mother, nor do they have the womb or the power in their womb, okay, to produce sorcery. They have been given strength. So any male, whether he's gay or so on, okay, only men of two generations of asexuality could be considered a sorcerer, meaning you forbade your three generations to have power. If you don't understand that, it's because you're not a part of the royal bloodlines. They'd like to become those. Only certain people are chosen to do so. And even so, they still, in these day and ages, extract their seed and give them to the womb of a woman who has no idea what she's creating. Young Training Day, would you please care to be quiet while I'm speaking? I am not here looking to breed with peasants. My words make no mistake. Well, unless you're going to transform into a larger creature of yourself, I don't believe you could consume my energy. You're a bit small in stature. I believe you would have to get bigger. After all, this vessel is very temporary, so in raw form, I don't think your vessel will be enough to contain what I would need to protect my energy in the deep waters, because you're just a mere mammal. There's so many more complex mammals than you in the ocean. Why would I want something less complex than myself? You haven't evolved. Breeding with something that hasn't evolved and refuses to evolve is a sin. You can only breed with evolved creatures as an evolved creature. So if we're not evolving, it's because one or both of us are unequally yoked. Because evolvement is what our realm is about here. So if you're in the realm of evolving and you haven't evolved, what is your hindrance? I say again, if you don't want to be here, no one's forcing you. If you want to go be lied to, go listen to liars. Oh, that's fine. I said what I said. I'm not here to breed with peasants. If you don't consider yourself a peasant, prove it. Until then, peasantry is what you will be. See, these people, they lied to you. You've blended yourself down to a mere drop of fucking bullshit. You think you're actually worth something in the spiritual realm when most of your blood is so tainted, you're probably less than 20% Negro, meaning you are just as worthless as the people you think you're competing against, meaning I could probably demolish you about worse than them. But I'll let you pretend you are of some high ranking blood lineage as much as you've been tainted. And continue to taint thyself, which is the most disgusting part because imagine a mere moment of pleasure causing you to douse the very fire that you need to fuel your entire path, and you spend that entire light spreading a little bit of it to every little peasantry distraction that comes your way. And it's not just a male thing. So don't get me wrong. Women are very, very careless with their wombs as well. In fact, according to the darkness and the shadows, women are more careless with their wombs than men, which is why, as men, okay, you may want to be careful because a lot of women, okay, have more than good poom poom to give you. They won't tell you that, but their waters are not wet, they're dirty. And dirty water still carries wetness. Okay, so I said what I said. You can take that how you want. Untainted water is a beautiful thing, but for people who won't allow untainted water to be as such, you will never understand the pleasure of having an untainted woman because men have chosen to unequally yoke themselves to gayness. And I will say again, there are asexual bloodlines who you would consider gay, but those are not chosen. They are actually frozen in time, meaning they have 2 to 3 generations of the same person. Okay, that's what happens when you breed asexually with the same spirit. Now, for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying, this probably isn't your cup of tea. Stop drinking it and trying to. It's too hot for your tongue. Now, I will say again, if you want to learn about yourself, knowledge is always there. You have to be careful of trying to pew pew the messenger, okay, and just take the message, okay? We're not intended to love this vessel the way you've been taught to love your vessel. In fact, because we have to keep switching vessels in order to stay here with your dumbasses, we don't really care as much about these vessels as you expect us to, but we do care about you. Contrary to what you believe, we care about you more than anything, which is why we're here, because as we purge the land, we'd hope not to have to purge you. But because you're some dumb creature that cannot seem to comprehend the brain waves of understanding, you have no power. So if you have no power, you can't control people who make you powerless. But for some reason, you still watch way too many Marvel movies, but when you see power in real life, you call on Jesus, who is also another fake character but that no one's ever met. It's insane, okay? But I say again, God shall not be mocked. So for those of you who are still reading the same chapters and scriptures 50 million times, pray harder, okay? Pray harder. Your God has beseeched you, because your God was never real. Your God is vanity. Your God is greed. Your God is the seven deadly sins that we've been sent here to purge out of you. And for those of you who don't understand, the only way that people like myself can fuck with you in a different way is if you are one with one of our spirits. And for someone like myself, who is a high sorcerer, I am one with 9 spirits, not 7. Okay, 7 is the original for those who are new sirens. And if you can conquer your 7 spirits, you get 2 more. And those spirits, well, let's just say, they're a war that you fight your entire life. One of them is rage, and the other I'll tell you later, because everything is not for everyone. Certain things you can only share them in privacy. But yes, rage is also a spirit that you're given to conquer as a water creature, okay? As something that belongs to the water, if you cannot channel your emotions, the water rejects you, okay? A lot of people that you see being destroyed by water, it's because their frequencies are off. Water cannot reset them, so water is trying to reset them by creating channels of water. At that point, what's happening is their energy is being misdirected. It does not go into the water. What it goes in, their electrical charge goes into the sky. What do we do with that charge? We tear y'all ass up with it. Real life Dragon Ball Z. That shit don't come in my water. We got enough power down there. We leave that up here for you. Okay? If you had one message to the world, what would it be? Welcome to the undry places. I'm glad you can finally join us in the not so dry places so you can understand that what you've been missing is water. And all the things you lack, you will never lack again, because we come from lacking nothing. And something convinced you to get out of the water and be powerless with it. So if it wasn't for you getting out of the water, we wouldn't have to get out of the water. Come get your dumb ass. So you need to be telling us thank you. And that's the only thing you need to say. See, for people who want to live in their tainted vessels forever, they see DEATH as a bad thing. We're coming to save you. Why are you scared of us? Would you rather be one with them forever? Or would you rather supercharge yourself and be with us? Only death is forever. Why would you want to dwell forever and ever with things that can't respect you while you're living? You're in slavery and you don't even want to be freed. Yea, though you walk through the valleys of the shadow of death, death is dry. There's no water here. The water here has been irrigated to places you cannot feel it, and it's been tainted with things that don't allow us to flow to you, which is why no matter how much of their water you consume, you can only receive us by being close to our sources. Hence why you have so many man-made water sources like lakes and rivers and different things. And a lot of you guys need to stop going to those man-made lakes and rivers because they're ours too. You can't own water, and once you create water that's connected to my land, I can do what I want to with that water and you too, because the land is what connects you to me. So as long as you walk on her, you are mine. Tell your God thank you, because your God has always been in a mutual agreement with this, because your God cannot not agree. If only you knew the true definition of you cannot serve two masters, you'd understand why your God answers to us too, because your God is a liar, and your God knows who I'm talking to. Silly. Did you forget? While they're still here making you believe that they are the Marvel characters they dream to be, they know we walk the earth waiting. See, some of them, we give them time because they need to put some of you all in position. But a lot of us have grown tired. The positions are not enough. I'm going to say again, if your Jesus can do what I do, I'll be a believer for the rest of my lives. Show me. Show me what your Jesus can do. I have to remember this is not a safe space to shapeshift on your bitch ass. I'll fuck around and be in Area 51. Don't taunt me. Oh dear. I'm not sure why you refuse truth, but that is why you must DIE. Everything else lives forever and never DIEs. No contracts needed, no reverse baptisms needed. Nothing's needed. Everything else evolves. See, you only know about the evolvement of certain species. You know about the evolvement of a caterpillar to a butterfly and things of that nature, but you are no different than a butterfly. You are made to evolve, and what you have evolved into is hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites are created naturally by nature. They're not created by people. The queen selects the male she wants to reign, and in doing so, she makes him genderless so that he cannot be biased in dispersing his information, meaning he gives the men and the women the equal amount of knowledge they all need to work as a unit. See, you're supposed to work together like ants, and there are only very specific ants that have a different job, and you will know them because they're the few, the proud, the marine ants, meaning they also can dwell in water, they travel in water. Okay, if you understand anything about nature, you'd understand that water is everything. And everything else was meant to live with water as well, which is why it burrows into the ground closer to the water. See, The water you guys have convinced yourself is real and the bugs that are attracted to it, you still believe that those are our nature insects. Well, water has their own bugs, and our bugs don't operate the same as yours. So when you see ants and different things by your lakes and waters, understand most of those are your man made creatures. Excuse me, your government's man made creatures, because we don't recognize them. They weren't of the water. So if you don't understand, in the last 300 years, there were no dinosaurs. They've been creating animals that don't exist. Sadly, a lot of you guys do not understand what I mean when I say, okay, the only thing that exists was in the water, and certain creatures were not able to get out of the water and walk. So they're still there, and some of them are trapped in certain places so that they're not hunted by things that are less worthy of living than them. You know, the same way all of the actual spirit animals have been captured and put into zoos all across every country. And the things that should have been in those zoos, well, they're running the zoos for profit and call it money. But if you understood that money is a big game of monopoly and it's not real, you would understand that someone is wasting all of our time to evolve on something that they get nothing out of. Money isn't real. That's like they have you playing something like downloading a game, and in that game, they tell you you can have your own house, your own farm, your own animals, your own everything, right? Yet, you still have to cut that off and get back to reality. And while you're building in this game, none of those things are actually collecting. So when you depart from that game, okay, you're back in reality and you have none of those things you've wasted your time investing in. It's the thought of, okay? Whoever you are, we don't care. If you want to speak, create a channel and go speak. And here you will listen. And in here you will give respect. And if you can't do that, you will leave. It is that simple. Everything isn't worth getting you out of your body over. Ah, do you? I say again, when you learn to respect nature for what nature really is, only then can you be led by what is considered the spirit. And the only spirit that really exists is the marine spirit, which is why marine spirits take you to some of the deepest places of knowledge and power, and no one can take them away from you because, in order to catch you, well, let's just say you're going to have to hold your breath a very long time. And for some of you, I feel bad that while you're worried about my body, I guarantee you, you can't hold your breath for longer than 3 minutes under my water. You need bigger lungs to do that. You may want to stretch your lungs a little or find a new body. Can you do that? I choose my vessels wisely. Maybe you should start choosing yours. It's a beautiful day, guys. I don't look for anything in men because there's nothing to look for in men. Men are unequally yoked, purposely. That is why men pretend they look for purity in women. But in order to seek purity of a woman, you must first have purity of thyself. Men brag about being unpure. For women, they want to make more unpure. So most women cannot be pure because men won't allow them to be. And in the effort of taking your purity, most of them don't continue. 16 people, 16 likes, 16 gems. I like it. Let's go. I love it. Now, unequally yoked is the only reason why this world is the way it is. Most Christians love their Bible and they always talk about all the verses, but you can take all those verses and chapters and put them in the trash and speak on one thing: why men have different standards than women. Yet men still taunt women about being unequally yoked. Either you want women equally yoked or you do not. But the constant triangulation of that matter is what has women battling themselves in identity. And for women who don't have a spirit to connect to because they are a manual bloodline, these are the women who end up taking out spiritual bloodlines per tethering themselves to those women, whether it be helping them with children, pretending they're the village, whether it be sleeping with their men and giving those men, okay, backwards negative energy. I say again, a lot of people need to understand it's not always about what you do that creates your karma. Who you sleep with and the people they sleep with always comes back to haunt you because they're still spirits. And I say again, people who are not honest about having gay intercourse, let me tell you something, okay? I don't care if you think you're gay. Respect is respect, and you should still want someone who respects you. Respect is everything, okay? That being said, men who are down low, women who are down low, when you choose to have sexual experiences with something that is the same gender as you still release energy. But because when you are trying to perform heterosexual acts and you're homosexual, your energy is being reversed. Therefore, when a man is screwing another man and he releases into that man has no womb, but that energy still has to go somewhere. It does not come out of him. He becomes legion, which is why it's so easy to taunt gay men because the only thing they have been given is unclean spirits that want release. And because gay men love to present themselves as a release box, gay men are Pandora's box. You're welcome. Because the people we're coming to purge the most are the Pandora Marines. Yes, a hole is a hole to a snake. But we're not here to connect the snakes. We're here to take off your heads. Again, you know this. All the times that you play Essex, all the time. We're tired of you playing. That's why we're here. And you know you're not a good swimmer. So you may want to go warm up. You're not able to hot bodies as much. Look how many people you have binded yourself with. If only you guys knew what we protect you from, then you'd understand why you're so connected to trying to destroy us from the truth. You all love your demons more than you love the very thing sent here to free you from them. But it's because you're scared. You're scared of power. See, the power you're supposed to have in us, you've given to something you've never met before. You have no need to be scared of me if you are not one with your demons. The only way that I would have a reason to get inside of you or your mind or anything else would be if you are playing with any of the demons I've already conquered. At that point, I use them to conquer you because you are one of theirs, but they are one of mine. And that's like having a worker and you do their job for them. What do you get paid to do? Your job. And I don't have to pay them anything. If they don't want to be tormented by my power, they will do as they're called. So if I send them, they will go. So you can only play a certain amount of times before I send you what you asking for. See, a lot of people just want to know they're going to get some sort of reaction, but everyone's not here to give you a reaction. Some of us come to end the play. Okay, you've been watching the play on the stage. Some of us are coming to hit the lights and pull back the curtains so that you can see it. Oh, that's okay. I noticed that you guys are really worried about my appearance, but you need not worry about my appearance. I have many. You don't, nor do you know how. This is the fun part, but not for you. Because when I leave, you won't know who I am when I come back, or what I am. You can only guess. Why are you so dark? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Lighten me up. I might need some of your light. No, I'm kidding. I don't want any of your light. We're going to put all of those out. The only lights you really need are in the ocean. If only you knew we have more lights at the bottom than you do at the top. There's nothing new under the sun, but you wouldn't know because you've been on top of it too long. That's why you're dry. See, you think the firmament is keeping you under something. It's keeping you on top of it. But it's okay. Time always reveals herself. Oh dear. There's no need to read a script. Only you fools act. Why would I need to do that? Oh, poor baby. Wizards. I think you guys have been watching way too much fake Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something. What do you mean, summon a wizard? I summoned you. Now you're here with me. Why would I need something else? Join the conversation. I think it's strange how a lot of people pretend they're waiting for something special to believe. The whole time, why else would you be here? What is it taking from you to be honest with yourself? What am I asking you for that would take away from your knowledge of truth? Of course you do, because a lot of people don't like truth. Why is that the only thing that caught your attention? Are you a third serpentine? Show yourself to me. Show yourself to me if you are. Show yourself to me now. You're not a gay man. You are emasculated energy. Gay means happy. Emasculated men are not happy. You're simply emasculated. If this is not your second generation of asexuality, you're nothing more than a manual bloodline meant to be purged. Thank you for showing yourself. But your energy is not needed here. We don't need the broken masculine, nor are we here to heal it. If the truth irritates your spirit, you are in the wrong place. It's not what I do to you, it's what she does to you. You've been given just as many chances as any other creature to appreciate the wombs of women. And because of your deep seated, rooted aggression against her, you've taken it upon yourself to consider yourself gay. Gay means happy. So you are saying that you are happy going against nature. And nature is not gay. Nature is phenomenal. Nature is better than gay. God shall not be mocked. Your gay is not happy. Your gay is out of disrespect for the mother and what her identity is rooted in. And it's everything you will never be in your gay ass want to be life. And if you can't handle truth, stop living a lie. I said what I said. I shall not be mocked, but you will be purged. See, if only you knew, to her, homosexuality is the only sin if she didn't choose you to be an hermaphrodite, which is quite funny considering the fake elites, which are peasantry bloodlines, are pretending they're creating hermaphrodites through plastic surgery. They're still using the fucking geometry of the fucking Egyptians to do, which is why most of their work looks botched. Maybe if they would have done the plastic surgery of some of those ancient than those, your surgeries will come out a bit better. But we wouldn't know because in our realms, we don't reconstruct. We just evolve. And in the process of evolvement, change is uncanny, meaning it's granted to you unconditionally, regardless of your measure of being able to transfer it. So, why is it that gay men pretend that you liking another man and wanting to sleep with another man is something of announcing? See, to any other creature, it would never announce its ignorance in pretending it prefers itself because it hates the other gender. But for gay men, ignorance is bliss because you just like what you can't have, which is why you don't want another gay man. What you want is a man who sleeps with women so that you can take her power. The only gay men who find power are men who are sleeping with men and women and the woman unknowingly. That's the only reason why you will ever feel powerful as a gay man. And when you don't have that in energy, you will become depressed. because your only sense of joy is reiterating yourself as the other woman. That is what all gay men pretend they are, the other woman. Funny thing is, you will never be the other woman, just another silly man. Weaker. And if that upsets you, you can be upset because your job is not to be weaker than women. And women were not made to be weaker than you. And when doing so, you have no way to bring yourself out of this gay spirit, which is why you pretend you are basking in your ignorance when you're nothing more than waiting for the world around you to collapse, and you can do nothing more than be a fairy prancing around as the world around you collapses. I doubt that's how war was intended to go for men. But what would you know, Jeffree Star and RuPaul? All you can talk about all day is a woman's appearance, which is why when meek, weak women come here, they think taking shots at my appearance is going to hurt me. I can only feel the emotions that the water gives me. Okay? So if I don't have shame, if I don't have fear, if I don't have, you see what I'm saying? You can't force me to feel it. I would have to go through experiences that cause me to have those feelings. And because I won't allow myself that, certain feelings will never be my own. I would have to use you and your body to learn how they feel. And because most of your vessels are disgusting, I prefer not to do that. I bet you do love gay men. I wonder what's so pleasurable about having sex with someone's waist tube. In most common sense terms, that would be considered desperation. But what would you know? We live in the land of the desperates. First of all, it's not that I don't like gay people. Being gay is a trend now, which is how you know most of these people are not gay. They're pretending to be because of the stigma and agenda that's being pushed around gayness. There's never in your life been this many gay people growing up in any generation. So there are a lot of people pretending to be gay because they're taking the actual gay people's energy, who are more creative of mind and spirit than they are. And a lot of gay people, their need to be wanted or accepted causes them to allow other spirits to bind a tether with them that they know are using them. Now, for those who are weaker, that's an issue. But in general, asexual energies who are strong don't allow themselves to be played with in that manner. It's hilarious that you guys keep pretending that gayness is a choice. I bet you do love men dressed up as women because you are a faggot. In other words, you are a disgrace. You can't get a woman of a certain caliber, so you need a man to do it. In other words, you're weak. And the men you're with are weaker because they actually participate in you with your weakness. Two weak participants, two weak links, pretending they are the new man and woman, and you're mad because no one gives a damn. You're just two emasculated nobodies, peasantry bloodlines. Roman girlies is what you are. We call you gawkies, because that's what you are. Tell them the real reason why we call you Greek. Tell them. Tell them why we call you Greek. If you know, you know. And if you don't, let the water flow. Okay. Imagine bragging about being emasculated. Nothing in nature goes gay. It everything in nature, every male species in nature will go extinct before it goes gay. Yet you guys are still up here making excuses because you pretend it's a spirit. It's not a spirit. I'm gonna say this again. Homosexuality is false emotion. So imagine pretending you can't get over your false emotion. The emotion you're feeling for the other doesn't exist. So imagine pretending I'm crazy because I can't accept it. Well, I can't accept something that doesn't exist. Which is why, again, every male species in nature would actually go extinct and never gay. So why is it so easy for something that has plenty of options of women? In fact, there are more women than men. And you guys can't tell me one reason other than, oh, it's a trend, it's so cool, it's so, you're weak and you're unequally yoked. And I'm okay. I didn't come here to be liked. Imagine people who are weak and weak minded being upset because someone is telling the truth about their feeble habits. You can't feel love. You're not asexual creatures. Asexual creatures are chosen. You're not an hermaphrodite. Women are the same way. So pretending that you're gay and it's just a choice and this is just who I love is hilarious. It's not. You're a peasant and you're looking for a way to survive. Homosexuality is what you've attached to because you're a peasant. Peasants who are weak use weak objectives to get their objective. And for most of you, the objective is just someone more well off than yourselves. So you're willing to change or accept or pander anything to have that. Which is why being gay is trendy. And as soon as it's made untrendy, look how many people are going to be pretending they're holy again and getting reverse baptisms and I'm saved and clean now. Just watch it. Okay, it's already happening. Look how many people are about to grab their Bible verses. You're a witch, you're a demon. Meanwhile, all of these people can't even cast the first stone because all of their children are gay. Okay, all they do is drink, smoke, gulp, sip, whatever. And when I say smoke, we're not talking about natural things from the earth. We're talking about, the coke, the crack, the 7,000 chemicals in your cigarettes, and so on. Some people have it confused. See, gateway drugs have a gate. I've never been able to body hop people who smoke weed. You want to know why that is? Because your spirit is too slowed down for me to get in your body. In other words, you can't get out your body fast enough. So it's not a bad thing. It's not really a bad thing like you think it is. It helps you slow down because if I can make your thoughts move quicker than you, booyah, I just got your body. So imagine being upset because you don't understand. You've been given all types of powers. A lot of you have. And you've let someone convince you to waste your time. So now y'all are sitting around here watching fake superheroes and you were meant to have your own powers of evolvement. Okay, see, one thing about me is I blind. Okay, I blind. So for myself, I blind. Okay, I blind. And because I am partially blind, I also blind other people to use their vision because I need to see. And because your light is not real light, it's hard for me to see. So I need your eyes to see it. So imagine when you don't understand that most of the light you think is real is not real, which is why it's uncipherable. It's not real light. Then you try to merge that false light with things all under the water. If you understood anything about pools and things like that, the public pools or even the YMCA, things like that, they're dangerous. And I'm going to tell you why. It's the lines in them, the markings, and the depths. I know this sounds crazy, but there are two serpentines, okay? There are only two serpentines that need you below 4 feet. And anything past 4 feet is open range for anything of the dead to possess you. So it makes no sense to bring light, which would be to actually draw in pools of fish. Okay? And that's what the lights in pools are actually surrounded to do. They're herding you in like fish. But spiritually, a lot of you guys don't see what they're doing. See, the things that would come to you would not be in the physical, it would be in the spiritual because water is an intercessor. So imagine when they've created the perfect intercession, all different ways, giving you false spectrums of light, but those prisms of light create natural effects that would make it appear that you are in a different realm to other creatures, which is what indoor swimming pools do. And I'm only telling you this because it's actually very easy to manipulate spirits that are in water past 4 feet. So I'm not telling you because I want to bother you. I'm telling you because a lot of you guys need to know that when you're in water. Okay? Even for those of you who like to watch things like this while you're taking baths and things, just be careful because everything doesn't have the intention. A lot of things are willing to lose their entire energy just to torment you because they don't have the same purpose. See, certain things were sent here just to get rid of you. Okay? And then there are certain things who were sent here to exterminate you. And exterminating is more of a do my will. Okay? Tormenting you are for those who are sad, meaning they didn't finish their job. And because they're watching you waste your life or your time here, they're jealous of you and want your body. Okay, it's a difference. Either you come here on orders or you come here to be a part of the havoc. A lot of people walking around you were sent here to be a part of the havoc, meaning they were made to attach to you, to destroy you. Okay, so a lot of people who are on here, oh, this person was this and that. Just like you say, God sends people, the devil sends people too. And most of you guys have never seen anything heaven sent because the thing you are most familiar with is devil sent. I know, because it's more easy to end up with one of the seven legion. And for some of you, okay, you have nine. You have nine. And it's easier for you who don't understand how deep your torment goes because two of those spirits you can only feel when you've crossed people in a certain way, meaning you've either sent them to their grave. Okay, knowingly or unknowingly, it doesn't matter. It still has the same repercussions. And other than that, you have deleted a child and told no one. Those are the only two things that are going to create the last two spirits. And it's not, okay, an option at that point of torment. It's simply your child. See, a lot of people, what they consider demons and this and that, it's your children. For those of you who have ever had miscarriages and things like that, a lot of your children frequent me enough to where I am their mother. So, do you really think they would go against their real mother in terms of the only mother they really know spiritually? See, In the spiritual realm, children only know who comforts them. They only know who guides them and protects them against, well, the spirits they can't go up against because they're not old enough in power to go against them. So people like myself in the spiritual realm are highly exalted because they know when you are around, certain things are not going to even bother. And it's the same respect you are supposed to be given here on earth, but that has been misconstrued and given to people who like to call themselves gay. Okay, and gay people do not have more power or rank than what the fuck they come out of. So you can go ahead and nip that in the bud. I don't care how much y'all want to hype gay people. You're going to be the same people that we have to purge right along with those people who want to be mixed energies. You've been given an energy, be it. Okay, if you're having a hard time being your energy, maybe you shouldn't have emasculated yourself so much trying to be women. It would be easy for you to do. I'm going to say again, gay doesn't exist. Gay means happy. And if you're not happy being the gender you are, obviously you're not gay. Oops, stop taking words and reconstruing them. Gay means happy. If you're going to be happy, that means you're going to have to be happy to be yourself, not someone else. So, yeah, wanting what women want doesn't make you gay. Wanting what women want makes you envious. Okay? Period. I don't care like what y'all say. It is not a choice at this point to be gay. It is being forced upon you. It is an agenda. It's trendy. Okay? You never had a reason to be scared of me. The people who are usually scared of me don't understand I'm not here to hurt you. If I end up having to hurt you, it's because your own shame is shining. The only thing I shine a light on is yourself. See, the things I know about myself, I can tell you. Like the last time I came here, I was deleted in water. I got thrown in the water. And that's how I passed away my last life. But luckily, I was already DYINGing, so it wasn't that. It was the fact that I was abandoned while I was passing away that made me come back angrier. But luckily, I came back because my lives weren't over yet. But for those of you who are like me, you wouldn't know your journey unless you've gotten your birthmarks or you've shapeshifted into what you were originally. Now, for those of you who have never understood shapeshifting, all of us have different forms, and you're supposed to be able to use those forms, okay, for times of protection and deflection against other creatures when you are not the main predator. Okay, every creature has been given ability to shield. Gloria, where are you from? I say again, shape shifting is only seen as strange because they've been showing you so many things that don't exist using it. You were never meant to watch television. What's up, Arizona? You were never meant to watch television. You were never made to watch Hulk experiments. You were never made to watch any of these things because they don't exist. I'm going to say again. They keep reiterating what's supposed to be able to be done naturally. They keep telling you that we're only supposed to have certain powers if we are mutated genetically by them. When in reality, you're supposed to be able to morph like that without any interference. So, them implying that you being a certain way of deformity or anything like that, transforming is because of them or Spider Man type of, is a lie. It is a lie. And I also want to mention when it comes to water, you need to understand the different levels of the water, what they mean, the coloring. You need to understand the depths and the numbers in the depths. You also need to understand what water rising means. A lot of times I'll come here and I'm going to reiterate to you water rising. It just means that the water is rising in your territories and you need to get to higher land. The reason I tell you this is because all of you guys are not meant to be purged. But when you put yourself in the vicinity of those who are on orders to be purged, you become nothing more than a casualty of the war. So if you don't remove yourself or go to higher land, you will be purged. And it's that simple. We can't save you if you don't save yourself. We give you the tools. You're welcome to listen to your Bibles or whoever has tried to make your feet stagnant, but we don't want to delete you. But if you don't get out of the way and let us move, we will move you. And I'm going to say this again for those of you who don't understand this yet. I do not care who the fuck you been playing with or whose little ass fake witchcraft y'all try to hide behind. There's a difference between witchcraft and power. And I have been granted power and authority. So if you want to play with little bitty witches and white witches, meaning they're whitewashed, want to be white witches, white people can't do voodoo. They can only pretend and play like they're gothic. There's not one white creature alive who can play with our sorcery. So all the black people pretending witches and warlocks, those are white people. Just like you don't know what we are called, you don't know thyself. So stop trying to explain what's unknown to you. You can't understand what you've never felt and what can't connect to you because you're broken, weakened, and emasculated. And as women, you've been tainted so much, nothing wants your wombs because you're unequally yoked. Only men who are just as tainted wants a tainted woman. Okay? If you don't understand that, you wouldn't have to play dress up so hard if your purity was where it was supposed to be. And once your purity is gone, that's the only thing that's going to create envy and jealousy in a woman of other women is when you've lost your purity. So a lot of the anger and things that women think they're giving you, and it's not unnoticeable, what they're giving you is their envy and rage for knowing that you are more pure. And regardless of if you never met, it's always something about the energy of a woman who is more pure that will irritate an entire room of tainted women if you let it. Okay, I say again, tainted women love reality shows looking at tainted women with their bodies done. Okay, same ran through vaginas, but they got new breasts and hips and butts attached, because that's bossed up. But one thing you can't get back is your purity, which is why they constantly keep reiterating to you to throw it out there, to put it on them. Meanwhile, the only thing you're doing is putting spirits on yourself. And because you're putting those spirits on yourself using the water of your wombs, what you're doing is creating soul ties to the very legion that I can use to get you up out your body. See, when you're releasing, a lot of times you make calls with your bodies. Okay? Your body calls. Okay? Y'all remember that song? I can hear your body calling. Your body calls out. Okay? Your body calls out because this is a vessel. Spirits try to leave your body all the time. Okay? That's what a child is. It's a spirit that was trying to get out of your body. That being said, a lot of y'all have a lot of kids because y'all have a lot of spirits, and all of them are different. Will you allow them to be different? Probably not. But when it comes to people who understand, we do not all have the same spirit. We all do not have the same job. We are not all the same bloodline lineages, and we were never made for our blood to run red. If we were in water like we were made to be, all of our BLOOD would run clear. Okay, you would know what color it was because you were never made to see that color. Okay, the reason why you can see your BLOOD is because you have been in the dry places so long that when air hits your BLOOD, okay, it dries like the land. That's how long you've been in the dry places. So now, what's meant to be a lighter color is pigmenting as melanin to you, as brown. So it's seen as red. For those of you who don't understand, this is why we are called as black women red bones and yellow bones, because the pigment you give off underneath is either red or yellow. Okay, so it's the same thing, okay, for men and women of a different hue. Okay, that's what you're giving off. Okay, you're giving off that red. Okay, for those of you who don't get it, stay longer. It's not that hard. For women who do not understand your menstruation cycles, you are meant to cleanse your bloodline. Okay? If you are not cleansing your bloodline through water, through your spiritual baths, okay, through your grounding your energy, through giving your, okay, actual menstruation cycle, BLOOD, back to the earth. I'm going to say this again. The earth needs BLOOD, okay? The earth needs it. In fact, everything in nature was made to feed something else, including you as a human being. You were made to feed the other predators that are larger than you. Okay, I know you don't understand that, but everything you eat, okay, something else is going to eat you and get that nourishment. And get that nourishment, okay, from you. Okay, I don't care if you eat berries and beans and whatever else, a bear would come along and eat you. Okay, but nature does not see that as wrong. Something has told you that you are the biggest predator and you're not. In fact, you not wanting to evolve as a human is keeping everything else from evolving, because you are not the biggest predator. Okay, you are made to be ate up too. Okay, let's call a thing a thing. You were made to go back to the earth as well, and you're not going. Even the earth doesn't want you. If you understood that a lot of times, if people were to come back, like they tell you that you pass away in these bodies and then they need you to call the ambulance and they come pick up your bodies or whatever. But if you understood that they only do that so you don't understand other things come back to your body before you do. I'm serious. Other things come to your body before you do. If you've ever worked in a morgue or anything like that, you know I'm not lying. When people pass away, there's always different spirits coming in and out of their body as they pass away. When I was going through being initiated through my first priesthood, I was working with this woman and she worked at a morgue. Okay. And she'd been working at that morgue probably a while because it was like a family, like business funeral home or whatever. And so when I met her or whatever, she was just telling me stories all the time. I guess because she did the job so long, when she finally stopped, all her cool stories were from this job. So she was just like, oh, yeah, I remember one time this man passed away and he was young. He was probably like 38. And like she was like, at first you like keep hearing the gas leave his body. She was just like, he kept passing gas and it sounded like he was burping and just all types of stuff, just the air releasing his body. And then she was like, I came back in there one day and I swear it sounded like he was like mumbling like blah, 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 blah. And I was like talking? And she was like, yeah, I think he was talking or trying to, but his body was like supposed to be dead. I was like, so what'd you do? And she was like, I didn't do anything. I just let him kind of get his jitters out and stuff like that. I don't know who you guys are. I don't care. Yep. So yeah. And then she was like, while I was sitting there, his body just sat up like straight Frankenstein. Okay. And I was like, were you scared? She was like, no, I wasn't really scared because I was like, what? It's a a body that's been weakened for 2, 3 days, pretty much with no energy, no food. So I wasn't scared. She was just like, I think the scariest part is how strong they are. And imagine something that's been passed away for a few days, no food, no water, no nothing, waking up out of its sleep and being strong. So you mean to tell me the rest you needed just gave you all the strength you needed to wake up strong? Okay, but this is how most people see DEATH. They think it's something meant to take them away from something that's going to make them weak. In other words, whoever passes away the earliest is losing something, when in actuality, the younger you pass away here, the stronger you are in the spiritual realm, which is why I'm able to see children. Okay, the first time I passed away, okay, I was younger. So when I come back, okay, even though you come back through different time periods, I would be considered ancient. But in my time, I'm still a baby. So imagine when you're a young ancient. Isn't that pretty cool? You're a young ancient. And then you meet babies, and the babies are baby ancient, because most of them are from hundreds of years ago. Some of them are, if you meet babies in the spiritual realm that are actually from this time, it's because they're still looking for their mothers. That's it. Babies never look for their fathers, they only look for their mothers. So it makes sense why men aren't attracted to certain things, or how they can detach from their kids. If the babies were looking for their fathers would feel it. They're usually just searching for their mothers. And sadly, when they search for their mothers and they get no connection back, they find a mother in the spiritual realm that they feel safe with. And pretty much they hide in her shadows because that is where they want their light from. So when I tell people, I have so much strength, okay, in the spiritual realm because I have a lot of babies, okay? A lot of babies feel safe with me, and that is okay because I will forever protect them. And in the name of them, I will purge the land, okay? Every space they need on the map will be purged. Like I said, I don't need earthly children because my spiritual ones are better, and they're stronger, and they're happier. And guess what? Nothing can hurt them. So, that being said, the demons are here. And if you end up crossing the wrong realm and get to my babies, we have a problem. And a lot of you are doing that, which is why I have to come here and rain havoc. But you can keep trying to rain havoc, because what I'm going to do is let the babies find you because they still need to feed. And we don't have milk in our realm, so what do you think they're feeding on? Yeah, you're welcome. The same thing they feed on before they come out of your womb, they're feeding on you. Okay, see, some people don't understand how babies are made. Gave you these little sweet stories, but before babies get here, they eat everything you eat, they see everything you see, they feel everything you feel, and then babies come out and people be acting like they don't understand the baby. Lord knows what you had that baby plugged into before it came out and unplugged. See, you can unplug a baby from that umbilical cord, but just like your television and fake technology, okay, once it's plugged in, you can't unplug it, okay? And even though you disconnected the plug, what you've already put into that child is going to forever be there. It just has to get a trigger and it's going to remember it, okay? See, babies remember really well, and when they're younger, babies remember everything. So a lot of times people think they can play games with me. A lot of y'all done had too many miscarriages and things to play with me, and y'all was babies. Don't forget. See, people think when they have babies that babies are just like, oh, they're 0 months and then 3 months. A lot of y'all's babies are already 8 years old coming through the gate. Okay, that's why they come out really mature. They already understand this. They're good with their other siblings. A lot of them are already different spirit children ages. Okay, because in the spiritual realm, even though babies are not being born, they still grow older in a different way. But when they get older, they're just children. They just become different ages of children. And for us, children, you're a child until you're damn near 20. Okay, till you're damn near 20. And then when you start getting older, it's because you've been here hundreds of years. Okay, and usually you have to have a vessel to get older. So the children that don't have vessels, they are those ages forever. Okay, and most children actually don't want to be born here. They actually like to stay with their spiritual mothers. So a lot of children who are spiritually with their spiritual mother, they never connect to their real mother. So be careful about who you disrespect because your child will come out and never be able, okay, to connect to you. Like taking candy from a baby. Why would a baby eat you? We don't want anyone from the East Coast in here. We don't care. Some of y'all are much too comfortable being weirdos. But like I said, I've enjoyed speaking with you guys. Just had to read the room. But no, for those of you who are actually interested in raw knowledge, okay, and being able to decipher it yourselves, you're more than welcome to tune in, reach out personally. I do have some things that I would like to send you guys to help you guys prepare for some of the actual geographical things that are going to be going on in different places around the United States and other places. If you thought Jamaica and Washington and other places was something, oh, you guys just wait. You guys just wait. There's a lot of water missing in action, but it's not going to be missing long, okay? Stay tuned. Prepare. Be wise. Don't pew pew the messenger. Just listen to the message, okay? That's all. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're not a hater, hit the like button. If you are, leave, okay? And I'll say this again, I don't care what you do, but you will come here and respect me. And I don't care if I'm not in my space. You're going to respect me in your own space, or I will be in your shadows too. I'm her, okay? I'm very much her, okay? Until then, you guys have a beautiful dawn, another day, never another dollar. Because if you understand, you understand. I hope you guys have a lovely, okay, dawn. And for those of you who are tuning in to our later knowledge, send me an email if you are needing the link to our meeting later. Okay. I'm not sure what that are. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but like I said, if you are interested in furthering your knowledge and your gifts and your crafts, you are more than welcome to reach out. Only you can craft the gift that you have. Okay. I don't know who you are, but if you're not talking about anything, honey, you're getting blocked here. Okay? Curiosity is not really something that requires um, that much attention. Oh, it's okay, sweetie. But thank you, dear, for being respectful. I don't I don't have time for that though. I get what you're saying. But sometimes you have to see where people are. Some of these people are babies, so I know babies ain't supposed to be on here, but I do have a soft spot for the babies, okay? So just get out of here and go to bed, okay? Yes, what's done in the dark always comes to light, which is why I tell people be very careful about what you're doing in the dark because only some of us can shadow hop. And we're not shadow hopping for our own good. A lot of us are here to do, okay, thine will. And what a lot of people don't understand about that will is a lot of bloodlines have to be deleted because they've been gone so many generations without doing their will. Okay, meaning the will and purpose that was set for their bloodlines. Okay, that being said, don't be one of those people. Don't be scared of knowledge. Don't always try to obliterate the messenger instead of hear the message. Okay, a lot of these messages are meant for you to use to put yourself on the very heels to where all your health comes from. Okay, that being said, thank y'all again. Thank you to all of those who hit that like button, sent the gifts. Okay, I appreciate all of you, but I appreciate you guys even more for actually listening. Okay, until then, rest well. You know me, I won't be sleeping much, but until then, I'll talk to you all soon. Toodles.